You are now tuned in to Namaste Grinding by Posey the Plug.
Yeah.
I'ma stay grinding. I'ma stay grinding. Stay true to yourself, this shit all about timing. Love on yourself, you as bright as a diamond. I'ma stay grinding. I'ma stay grinding. Put in that work like you turning assignments. Gotta stay focused to stay in alignment. I'ma stay grinding. I'ma stay grinding.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Namaste Grinding podcast. And you guys know exactly how this works. Divine intervention is what helps me meet folks, and that's what gets them right here in this chair. Today I am so blessed to have a brother in community that I've met. Not just because he has an amazing, phenomenal voice, and have I been a fan, but someone who's actually taken an opportunity to pour into me, and so I really appreciate that. So I'm really, like I said before, I always say I'm really excited. I said I was really blessed, but I would say I'm super excited because that means I'm nervous. But I'm super excited to have Kijana Gant in the Namaste Grinding podcast studio today.
Thank you.
Speaking of magic stories, though, when we talk about the Namaste Grinding moments,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I know it seems like we just jumped in, but we've been talking for a minute.
Oh yeah.
So, and I also, yeah. And I feel like I know KJ, so I know that we touched base a little bit at the green room, and you were just letting me know, like, hey, I got a Namaste Grinding story.
Oh, yeah.
I got a moment.
Yeah.
When I could have
moments.
yeah, that I could have waved my white flag where I wanted to give up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't looking bright.
Yeah.
And you had to persevere like through that.
So a few stories. So let's see. I'll start when my oldest son. I was talking about my oldest son. My oldest son is Cameron. Mm-hmm. Cameron turns 30 in October. Mm-hmm. Cameron was born with a rare heart condition called aortic stenosis, severe aortic stenosis. His aortic valve was pinched, and most people are born with 3 leaflets. He only had 2. So he was born blue, and he had to have his first heart surgery at 2 weeks old. And at that time, I had been traveling on the road. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I was on the road for 5 years singing. And then I worked odd jobs. But then when he was born, I had to get a real job because of medical insurance. And I came off the road to keep him alive. And it was like I didn't know. I was young and stupid. So, I was like, the doctors experimenting. I grew up in Indiana. So I was like really trust issues. Gary. I grew up in Gary, Indiana.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, yes, yep. Yeah. Born in Chicago, Dad became a Gary fireman, and I moved to Gary in 1st grade.
I used to work in Portage.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, at the Big Bass Pro Shop.
Big Bass, okay, yes, I know exactly where that's at. Yeah. Yes, my younger sister stays in Valparaiso, the couple exits past that, yeah.
So I worked there too, and I lived in Maryville.
Oh, okay, yes, Maryville, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Gary, I was like super trust issues, like white people trying to experiment on my baby. I was like, you're not this. And then my family pediatrician at the time, he was my childhood doctor, happened to be my son's doctor, was like, look, calm down. No, he really is. This is serious. And me and his mom wasn't on good terms at the time. I was married at the time. And then Cameron had 4 more. His first 2 surgeries was to keep him alive, to be healthy enough to have another surgery. And at 3.5, 4, me and his mama didn't work out. So he had just had a surgery. I thought he was good. I moved. I had to get away and just get my life together because I was angry, just not in a good space. The marriage was really terrible relationship. Just you name it, write some stuff down. That was that relationship. It was really bad. On top of that, with a sick child.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so it was really, really bad. I was a musician, working, but I wasn't living the musician lifestyle. The typical musician lifestyle. What people think musicians do. I wasn't that guy, but my wife was at that time. She was that, and with the sick kid was a lot, and just the stress of that. A good friend of mine, I ended up in Minnesota because I had wrote it off. I was like, I'm done. I hear one more bad news from her, then I'm just going to jail because I can't take this no more. I was at that point. I was so angry and just in a bad space. And a really good friend of mine, he would let me just come to his house and just sit on his couch. He would give me his remote, and I would just flick the channel just to get my mind. I didn't care what I was watching, but I just had to see something that was peaceful. And he couldn't come to Minnesota for a gig. And my best friend was like, hey, man, we're going to Minnesota. I was like, I don't know where Minnesota is. I'm not going.
That's normally people's like first reaction.
I was like, I don't know. And I didn't know. My mom worked for Marriott Hotel, so she got the great discount on hotel room. He's like, man, mama gave me the coupon already. Stop acting stupid. They had packed my clothes. And I woke up, I got in the car and I woke up in Minnesota. I woke up in Eden Prairie. And yeah, I did. I woke up.
You were kidnapped.
Yeah, they kidnapped me. Yeah, they told me. Yeah, they did. They was like, dude, they was like, man, look, shut up, get in this car.
Out of like love for you, like, hey, you need to get up and move out of this situation, out of this environment.
They knew it. They saw it because I was in a bad space.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. To imagine you in a bad space, I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
Ever since I met you.
Yeah. So it was so it's just the opposite of what I am now. I was angry and just. So I get it. I see young men that are going through stuff. I see it because the guilt, the embarrassment, the fear of losing your child, because I know he's going to live or die. The frustrations of just life. That was in the late 90s in Gary, so you had the police element and all that too. So all of that, just being a black man, all of that compound on top of all that. And it was just like, it's just, in my mind at that time, it was just, I called my mother. I called my mom. I said, Mom, take care, Cameron, I'm going to jail because I can't take this no more. And she was like, what? And then I woke up in Eden Prairie and we did the gig and I was angry. I was like, why am I in Minnesota? I was mad. I was really mad. I was mad at them. But my best friend was like, hey, man, look outside. The sun is shining. We don't smell all that steel mill smoke. The air is clean. And I was like, okay. And made changes to move up here because I wasn't going to move up. I made changes more. I said, okay, this is peaceful. I went back home and got seriously depressed. Went back to Gary and it was just like, I was missing it. I was like, oh my God, I got to be there, but she can't come with me because I was still technically married to her. Fast forward, we divorced. She took Cameron. He gets sick again because she wasn't taking care of him. And the hospitals called me and was like, hey man, what's going on with him? I was like, I don't know. I didn't know where he was at. She had took me, I didn't know where he was at.
Oh wow.
So we found him. My sisters found him. And then he had to have another emergency heart surgery.
Oh wow.
To keep him alive. And then I got full custody and I was done. I was done with relationships. I was done. Only person I knew up here, because my friends moved me up here, they left. My one friend went to work for Kirk Franklin. My other friend went to Texas he does movie scores. And my other friend went to Alabama and he owns 3 jazz clubs.
Oh, nice.
So we were all musicians, but they left me here. I was like, y'all left me.
They said you need healing.
Yeah, they did.
We got to leave in the most peaceful place we know.
They did. They left me, and then only person I knew was my cousin. My cousin played pro baseball for the Twins, and he was the only person I knew, which was a different lifestyle. A 25-year-old me with the 26, 27-year-old millionaires, which is crazy. And you see that lifestyle coming out of the torment and the drama that I saw. Was like, this, I don't want no parts of this. I don't want no parts of I didn't want no parts of the parties. I didn't want no parts of none. It was just traumatic for me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's interesting because like some people when they're in that moment, all of that might just seem like so wonderful.
Well, no, it did the total opposite. It did the total opposite because it was so damaging. And then I didn't want to be. My cousin would be like, dude, you gotta go home, man. You killing the vibe. Because I knew they had, they probably had steady girls, and I would be like, man, why you cheating on her? Because that was triggering to me because of all the trauma that I went through. What pulled me out of that was I met my current wife, and we were just friends. And I was like, I'm not interested in a relationship. We can just be homies. I don't care. We can just be friends. And she was cool.
Because you're still in that mindset of just angry.
Angry.
Right.
And became friends. And the baseball players, because it was a cheap date, they was like, hey, man, you should marry her, man, because she's not interested in none of us, and you ain't got no money.
She believes in love for real.
She believes love for real, dude. I was like, man, shut up. But I ended up getting married to her, and we've been married 26 years this December. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a process of I remember forgiving my ex-wife and all the pain. I remember that. And when I forgave her, it was just like I cried like a baby. And I was like, you have no hold on me no more. I'm tired. I was tired of being angry. I was tired of being frustrated. I was just tired. And I was like, you know what? You haven't forgiven her. And I forgave her. And because it was crazy baby mama drama. I can write a book on baby mama drama. I can, but when I forgave her, none of that mattered because it was like, I don't care what you do. It doesn't matter what you say because you have no power over me no more. That anger, whatever you held over me is gone. And I started walking in my peace. And
how'd you let that go?
I poured into my children. I wanted them to be productive citizens. That's what I want. So I poured into them. I poured into my relationship with my wife. My current wife. Yeah, I poured into that relationship because it was like, she's not a music lover, which is cool. She's not. She's all about volunteering. And so she allowed me I can just get lost in my music and not have to worry about, because I'm not, when I met her, I was like, look, I talk to everybody. People are drawn to me, but I'm not that dude. If I'm with you, I'm with you.
Right.
So, and I'm not going to put myself in a situation to make you trust that or damage that, because I want to come home to a peaceful house, because I know what a not peaceful house looks like.
Right. Amen.
So,
Amen.
yeah. So that was that. And so I poured into them a lot. I was at, my father would always say, you get one chance to see your kids grow up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be here. And, I think back because I was always opportunities to sing because I'm a singer. But so I chose stuff. I wrote radio jingles. I did corporate stuff. I sang at church. I wrote for like a country and western show that was local, so I could be around, because it was more important to me to see my kids, first grade, kindergarten, graduate, middle school, high school, go to all their games. Those were priceless, because you can't get that back. I can always sing. I can always sing. My godfather was my mentor. He would say, if you take care of your body, take care of your voice, keep singing, you can sing till you're 90 years old and you'll be all right. And then what are you truly singing for? Are you singing for the people hollering your name, or why are you singing? And me, I sing because I love the music. Sometimes I see the crowd, most of the time I don't, because I just fall in love with the music.
I can tell, as someone who's been in the crowd, I can tell that you love the music.
Yeah.
I can tell that. I can see that.
Yeah, so that's my piece. Cameron has had 7 heart surgeries, but he's great now. He's fine. He's good now. My I think it was, when was it? 20 had to be 2010. 2010. My wife got diagnosed with, we thought it was lupus. I remember that because we had opened up a health food shake shop, a healthy shake shop, me and her, because I'm like a serial entrepreneur. I love business.
I love that for you. I love this.
Yeah. So we were, so I'll back up. So I always worked jobs because I had to have medical because of Cameron. I had to have great medical insurance. And then for my kids too, I wanted them to have great medical coverage. But I got downsized. So you remember Ameritech in Chicago? It was a company called AT&T. So I worked for AT&T Chicago. They transferred me here to now is Lumen or CenturyLink. So I was working with, it was way back, it was called US West. So they laid me off. I got downsized. And so I remember sitting at home, I was like, I moved up here and I was here maybe like 2 years and I got downsized. So I moved to Minnesota and get downsized. So, and I was like grumpy and complaining. My wife was like, yeah, you getting the job. So she put me in the car. Kidnapped again. And we drove to Blue Cross Blue Shield. And she put me out of the car. She said, I don't care, go get a job. And then I remember in the interview, they was like, well, how'd you get her? So my wife put me in the car and she told me I had to come for the interview. So
I like this.
So I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield. Then I got downsized from Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I was like, you know what, this is enough. So I'm pretty handy. So I went to I'm a painter and drywall by trade. So I went to construction.
Okay.
And I painted and did painting during college. My dad was a painter, so I would paint with him. And so I painted and did painting and drywall. And I was like, okay, I got tired of I'm trying to be nice because I'm not really PC, but because I'm just blunt. So
you can be blunt.
Okay, good. So
okay, good. You sure can.
Okay, good. So I got tired of the most construction workers. A lot of construction workers are not the most educated people in the world. So I was like, I'm tired of these uneducated white dudes talking to me like I'm crazy when I'm smarter than most of them. So I started my own business, and I remember telling one of my bosses, I was like, dude, honestly, you too stupid to be talking to me, so I'm gonna run my business, I'm gonna hire you. And I did. I opened my own business and I hired him. And he,
that's right, KJ.
So I got tired of him talking to me crazy. I was like, man, I'm smarter than you, dude.
Right.
You're not gonna talk to me like that. And so
I love this.
I ran my own construction business for about 10 years. And then my wife was a banker. My wife is a banker by trade. So somebody had to have medical, because that was the thing. We got to plan this out. Okay, I'm stepping out. I'm doing this. So if you do this, kid, you got the medical. And so we did that, and it worked. It worked. And then during that time, we opened up the Healthy Shake Shop. Okay. And during that time, she noticed she started getting sick, and we didn't know what was up. She just was sick, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? She went to the doctors, and then I diagnosed her with lupus, and which we thought was lupus, but it wasn't. so I'll get to that. So they gave her the medication, and her hair fell out, and her skin changed. The pigment in her skin changed, and so she went through. Okay, as ladies, you lose your hair and your skin changes. So she went through this crazy emotional.
What? Yes, absolutely. Your hair has been raised by my grandma and them saying your hair is your glory.
Yes. So
your hair is your glory. So
her hair and her face and just all that changed, and then it was like, and I was like, oh my God, so supportive. I'm like, okay, I've dealt this with Cameron with his sickness. We go to the Mayo. We go to the Mayo a lot. Go to the Mayo Clinic. I said, okay, babe, we're gonna work this out and see what's going on. And we had partners that was helping us with the shake shop. And I remember the guy was like, well, yeah, man. I was like, hey, dude, I can't really do this no more. I gotta take care of my wife. That joker told me I wasn't working hard enough. And we closed it down. I was like, I promise you, to this day, if I see him today, because he said it over the phone. If I would say it in my face, I would punch him in the nose. I was like, because you don't talk about my wife in my face like that. Don't do that. My wife is sick. You gonna tell me I'm not dedicated? What are you talking about?
He was saying you're not dedicated to
the business. I said, what are you talking? You mean where's your perspective, bro? So I took a step back because my wife. right. I had to gather myself, and I was okay. It's not about you, Kijana. It's about your wife. Get her together, and we got her right. And then Cameron, during that time, he was having another heart surgery around that time too. So it was a bunch. And
wow!
Yeah, it was a bunch.
So you're like dealing with both of these at the same time.
Both of them at the same time. And I remember I was like 38, 39, and I had like a major breakdown. I was at work, and everybody irritated me. I couldn't talk to nobody. It was just like I told my boss, I was like, I can't be here. I was working, so had my painting business. My wife got sick. I picked up a job at Comcast. I work for Comcast now because I needed the medical insurance, and she couldn't work anymore. So, and they let Comcast allow. I still my painting business. Say, look, I'll do outside sales because I know if I get my sales, you're not going to bother me because I got my business. My business is fine, but I need the medical insurance, and so they allowed me to do that. And so during that time, all this was it was stressful, and I remember I didn't want to get out of bed. My wife was fine, Cameron was fine, but all of it hit me, and it was like, what is this? I don't know what this feeling is. I never felt this feeling, and it was depression, and I had like a breakdown, and I started doing gratitude walks because I was like, I would just walk, just to be, what am I thankful for today? That's what it started off as, because I was like, okay, God, I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. So I would get up and just walk, and I would walk, and every time I walk, I would say, I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for the sunshine. I'm thankful that I can see this. And then I would cry and just I felt better when I got home. And then for black men, it is important. For black people, it's important to talk to mental health people. It is important. It's that stigma that say don't talk to nobody. That is a lie. That is a lie.
100%.
You have to. So I started talking. I went to my job paid for it, and I went to talk to a therapist. And I would say this: it's okay if that therapist is not right for you to get another therapist.
Come on.
Because I had one therapist, and the joker told me I was faking, and I was yelling so loud. in that doctor's office. I was like, sir, I said, do you understand how stressed I am? And you to tell me that I'm faking? And my talk doctor referred me to the other clinician, and he was talking crazy. And so he came in the room. He was like, "What is going on?" I was like, "This quack is talking crazy to me, talking about that I'm faking." And I was like, and I told him, I said, I'm gonna be as very professional as I promise you. I said, but if he has my records, I'm suing his clinic because he is not certified to talk to anybody. And I said, if I see his notes on any of my stuff, I'm coming back up here with an attorney. I said, I need another doctor right now. Because I didn't want to say, I'm going to shoot this, but I didn't want to do none of that, Because inside of me was saying that.
Right.
All the Gary and them.
That's going to give you a good 48 to 72 hour lockdown.
Yeah, but I was really, I sternly said it really loud, how he was not going to mess up my record. So they gave me to another doctor. And I remember me and her, our first interview, and I was like, are you going to talk crazy to me? Are you going to tell me that I'm faking? Because I can just leave now. And so we talked, and it was great. It was great, and I continued my gratitude walks. And my gratitude walks turned into gratitude runs, and I ended up doing 3 triathlons, which was. Oh, my God. Yeah, in my early 40s. Yeah, in my early 40s, I did triathlons. Because it was like, I felt so much better about everything, because it was like, okay, didn't know what was wrong with my wife. Cameron was alive. Things was going great, and then COVID happened. My mom got sick. Cameron had another heart surgery, and my wife got sick, not from COVID. My mom had a thyroid storm, and her doctors in Indiana wouldn't treat her, so I went and got her. And Cameron he was somewhere. He went into heart failure, and I had to get him to the hospital for heart surgery. Then my wife, she was misdiagnosed. She doesn't have lupus. She has scleroderma. It's another autoimmune disorder. It basically is like overactive heartburn. So if it's not treated, most people die from scleroderma because of you don't treat the heartburn, and it damages your lungs.
Okay.
So with her, there was like, because her hair was falling out and everything, and I was like, look, she was really thin and really, really thin. And I said, okay, God, am I having 3 funerals this year during COVID? Because my mom was sick. My mom couldn't walk. She gets so sick she couldn't walk. Cameron was in heart surgery, and nobody could come during COVID. Nobody could go in the hospital. Gosh. And then my wife. So it was like I was at the Mayo, and my job changed 5 times, all in the same time from Comcast. So it was all of those things that compound, but those gratitude walks that I did earlier in my life gave me those tools to deal with that, to give me the peace of mind to say, okay, Kijana, this is what you got to do. These are the tools. Okay, you just gotta find the strength within you to go, because nobody's coming to your rescue. Because nobody could come to your rescue during COVID.
I mean, 6 feet away.
Right.
And especially the hospitals were locked down.
Hospitals were locked down. They allowed me to go into the Mayo because I had to bring them in there. That was the only reason I could come, because I had to bring them because they physically couldn't move. So when my wife got my mom right, she had a procedure to get her thyroid. So she came. We wheeled her in the hospital, and she walked out. Thank God for that. My wife, they did a bunch of tests from the rooter to the tutor to find out what's wrong with her.
And Mayo Clinic will do it. Shout out to the Mayo Clinic.
I love the Mayo Clinic. I love the Mayo.
I love the Mayo.
And then so folks, if you ever go to any doctor, if any nurse or doctor does not answer your question, find somebody else to make them answer your question. Because I'm a person going, you're not just going to just do stuff to me or do something to my loved one. I need to know what you're doing or who are you.
Because they'll work without explaining, because that's something that they do every day.
And then they'll talk to you like like, hold on now, wait a second. I didn't go to medical school, so you explain to me like I'm a 5th grader or a 3rd grader. Talk slow and slow. If you don't want to talk to me, go find somebody else. And I'm okay. I'm okay not talking to you. That is fine. Just go get somebody else to talk to me that's going to talk to me right.
Right.
And it's okay. And that's not being arrogant. That's not being bougie. That's not being petty. That's protecting you, because people will do whatever you allow them to do.
Absolutely.
You have to talk up for
and
yourself.
Especially, and I stress this a lot actually in the medical field because I spend so much time in the hospital.
Yes.
So I know.
Yes.
They will talk to you as if you know exactly what's going on.
Right, and you don't have a clue.
And you have no idea. And
Right.
then on top of that, you're already emotional and nervous from being there. So you're not. I'm not even fully comprehending what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Even if you did break it down Crayola style.
Absolutely.
For me,
Yep.
you might have to repeat that over and over and over again.
And you're going to repeat it. And my wife was like, well, yes, because after a while I was like, I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to. So you mean I don't care if I'm being mean. They're going to answer my question because. I love you. I don't love them. I love them, but
thank you for
doing your job. But you're going, after my wife, they figured I was around my wife. They got on the right medication, and she picked up weight, and skin changed, everything back to normal, which is amazing. So which is good. Which is really good. Yeah, she's a little juicy now, which is good.
Look, she was like, I know where I've been.
absolutely. And then Cameron is fine. He had his heart surgery. And during all of those things, it was a matter of you got to be grateful. You got to be grateful of what you have, and it's tough, but you gotta be prepared for the worst because you never know. Because nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. So you have to have those conversations. I remember those conversations. Whenever Cameron goes on, I say, "Hey," I ask the doctors, I say, "Hey, man, I mean, so am I going to lose him? Is this the last time I'm going to see him? You know, I mean, I know you're going to do your best, but and there's, you never know because when you shut your heart down, it's only the Lord can bring it back. So And then I remember with my wife too, I was like. With both of them, because after all those experiences, the depression and everything else comes in, and it's like because it's traumatic. It's like this is what's going on with my life. What's up? God, what did I do to deserve this? You don't question God, but you question God. You do.
No, been there. Definitely been there.
You do. You question, and it's okay. He got big shoulders. He can handle it, and it's okay. It's okay to question. When people say don't question God, that's a lot. Question him because you want to know the answers.
Yeah, because you do want answers.
You want to know the answers.
Yeah, and something that I learned along my journey of healing was that when counselor told me this, that depression is supposed to be a tool. And sometimes, so he was telling me, he was like, no, depression could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just let it overstay its welcome.
Yes,
because our central nervous system is telling us like, hey, this is too much.
Yes.
We want you to shut down.
Yes.
You need to focus on something else, happy, flip through channels, do whatever you got to do.
Yes.
Sit in the dark.
Yeah.
We don't want to we don't want you to talk. Your brain is literally saying like, hey, I'm tired.
Yes.
I'm worn out. I don't want you to talk to anybody. I don't want you to look at folks. I want you to be in the dark. I just want to heal.
Yep.
Because I've been compromised.
Yes.
So, but sometimes we forget. And the way he kind of described it is we don't let go of it in time.
Yeah.
And we don't crawl back out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
that is true.
Because our brain is supposed to protect us. And that's what it's trying to do. It's like, hey, some stuff on the outside is going crazy.
Yep.
We just want to be in solitude.
Yeah, I agree. The therapist told me that too, because I fought hard for medication. I was like, I don't want no medication. I remember calling her a drug dealer. I was like, you a drug dealer? I really did. So I don't be on no drugs. But give me something natural because I'm not getting hooked on this. But then she was like, she explained it to me. She said, Kijana, you have like you're depleted. You've been through too much, and you're not iron. And this medication is going to give you back what you've lost. You're not going to be on it long. You got to be on it for these few months, but then come on, because it's got to build your system back up. I was like, all right, I'm going to hold you to that.
Because as black people, I thought growing up, like health issues, medication, all that was a European thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was not a us thing.
Right, exactly.
And I fought my doctor too on medication before, and then her telling me like, you could be leaving something on the table that's actually going to help you out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was just like,
I fought. I fought it, but then I took it and I felt better. Because I was like, okay, look, because I'm like, hey, now. But then when she explained it to me, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I'm not giving you, I'm not giving it all. I'm going to stand up for these few months. After that, it's a wrap. I'm not doing that.
Just to kind of like level it back up.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are some depths to climb out of.
Oh yes.
And I know that you're sitting here and you're telling, like, I sat here and I don't even think I blinked for a while. I was like, what, KJ? Like, you went through all of this?
Oh yeah.
But you talk about these walks and, like, I'm not even gonna hold you, KJ. How, bro? Like, you like all of this, and you said to me, what helped pull you out of your valley, if you will, is the moment that you leaving the past relationship and letting that go. Yeah. Because even though that sucked, right? Yeah. Even though it sucked, like, you then knew what a negative, toxic situation. You knew the ins and outs of it. Yep. So you could probably call it. Yeah. You know, from
Spidey senses is on point.
Yeah. So going through that transition, I could see definitely that helping. But I'm not even gonna lie. When you tell me about the rest, I'm like, how? Oh yeah. How in the world did you make it through all of that? Even because you had the love of your wife, but then her temple starts to break down.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
So then it's breaking down her emotions, her spirituality. Like, you know what I'm saying? It all plays a toll.
Absolutely.
So, like,
absolutely. Yeah. It was. We had real conversations. We did. We had real conversations. Mm-hmm. That was the one thing that when I met her, I told her, I said, look, if we can't be open and honest, we ain't gonna work. I got to be able to be brutally honest with you, how I'm feeling at all times, because my last relationship was shady, and I'm not going through that no more. I'm good by myself. I'm okay. But so we had some real conversations. We really did about when prayer helped a lot. Prayer in church helped a lot. But how can I say this? My spiritual walk is not tied to the church, even though I was in the church, because the church was the first people that turned against me when my first relationship broke down. They dogged me. They dogged me out. They dogged me. Preachers preached against me. I was like, nigga.
All of the congregation.
I promise you. I was sitting in the church, and me and ex-wife had broke up, and the joker was like, well, yeah, if you're a real man, your wife wouldn't cheat, and blah, 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 all this other stuff, and naming all the stuff that I went through. As soon as they said amen, I followed right in the back. I said, look here, bro. Next time you call me out like that at church, we can step out in the parking lot, because I ain't that dude. I I'm telling you, I was young, and I had still so much anger, and I was like, dude, it was so much bent up anger and emotions and all this stuff, and then you gonna call me out in church, and I'm supposed to be getting healed, and you gonna talk to me like I'm coming here to get healed. Right. What kind of demon are you, brother? So I'm gonna treat you like a demon for real. And then I told myself, if you want a number, I'll give you her phone number, because you can go have her. So, but I said, but as long as I'm here, don't ever. Cause, and I
y'all hear that Gary coming out? Y'all hear that Gary coming out?
He had all his all the preachers around you. I was like, I don't care for none of you. I said, I'm talking to him. The deacons. I said, look, y'all slide over, because I'm gonna explain something to you. You're not gonna do that to me. As a man, as a woman, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. No. If I didn't even come to him in confidence. She came to him in confidence to try to build the relationship. The relationship was over. But then for you to be that kind of low and to do that, no, bro, no respect at all. So I'm gonna treat you like the dude in the street that you acted like. Right. Don't have that clergy cough. Yeah. You take that cough off. So
look. So let him know, KJ.
It was. So prayer and my gratitude walks was me talking to God, and that because nobody was coming to my rescue anyway. Nobody was coming to my rescue anyway.
And it's just the funny thing about healing is that even though you can have a lot of support when you're healing through something, it's a journey you got to take on your own.
You
have to take on responsibility. And you have to relinquish any guilt, or any resentment. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was Bob Proctor, and he said, resentment and guilt are the same thing, except for one's directed at other people and one's directed at yourself. So you have to just get rid of that whole emotion.
That and your ego. It was. So listening to somebody the other day, he said that You can either be a host to God or a hostage to your ego.
And I surely shared that status, KJ.
Oh, you saw it?
I definitely saw it.
I read that. I was like, oh, that is so true. Because this one lady, I remember when I was business class, and she said, measure your ego with your bank account. Which one is bigger? And I was like, whoa. She said, get over your ego. Once you get over your ego, people don't really care that you trying to be in business. Be in business. Get over your ego. Ask for the sale. Ask for help if you need help. Ask for it. Get over your ego. And I was like, get over yourself. Ask for the healing, and whoever that looks like.
Because I feel like sometimes we want depression to stay longer than it's welcome, or like these bad situations.
And it's no. Experience it. Learn from it, because it's somebody you can help somebody else out. You can help somebody else. I remember when I came out of that first relationship, guys was laughing, talking, and like 3 months after that, like four of them guys came up to me, man, because their relationship was terrible, and they was like, man, how did you do it? What did you do to get out? How did you do it? And I told them, I was like, well, I reminded them of what they told me. I did, because I was that dude. It's like, yeah, remember you was laughing at me.
Right. Funny thing
is, but this is how I got out of it, and then don't care about anybody else, because the other side is so much better. There's so much peace on the other side. You don't have to live like that. Why? Get out of that toxic relationship. The guy ain't that good, woman ain't that good. It's so many more people. And
7 billion people on the planet Earth. That's what they say.
It is, absolutely. And you can do fine by yourself. You'll be all right. You can be, you know what I'm saying? You know your own crazy. Everybody got their level of crazy. And there's a level of crazy that you want to deal with. I'm like, I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be.
And and that's the thing. We're not trees. We can get up and leave from a situation. Like, I'm not rooted. I tell
my youngest daughter that all the time. I was like, babe, you ain't no tree. If you don't like where you live, move. Move. Nobody's stopping you.
And enjoy the experience.
We're not back in the 50s and 60s where there's some areas that's different, but we can still do what we want to do.
Yeah, we can move around. We have options.
There's options.
We just got to make good choices, so we have good options.
Yes.
But I just love how it just it came full circle. This whole conversation did, because you kind of ended on the let it go.
Yeah, you have to.
And that's you kind of
have to. You have to let it go. You have to let it go to live.
I think that's a big part of the Namaste Grinding moment too. I know y'all probably see me taking my notes, but one thing about me, these gonna go straight in my journal. And I believe in divine timing, because I really need to hear that word of just letting things go, and just moving forward. And when it comes to Namaste Grinding moments and getting through them, some things that you just taught me, KJ, was it doesn't hurt to take a gratitude walk or to take moments in the middle of the storm to just be thankful. Yeah. Another thing Bob Proctor said, I heard him saying the thing is, it was a jar of sand. Oh, yeah. The sand being the future, the sand on the bottom being the past. And he was saying, like, all you have right here is the middle part. That's it. If you focus on the past, then it's inevitable that your future will be the same. Yep, absolutely. So, so that connected for me, your story and just that quote that I heard him say. And then, find help when you need it. Yeah. And if someone doesn't have the help that you need, go somewhere else. Yeah. Someone's not communicating with you, whether that be a mental health professional, a doctor, in any of these situations. Like, it's out there. Yeah. Yep. Just keep going. Yep. And like you said, be nice about it. Yes. You might not have the answers for me. That's okay. Yeah. But somebody to do. Yeah. And I've said it before on the podcast that sometimes the people that you want around you, that you have around you, don't have what you need. Yes. And that's okay. And that's okay. And it's okay to tell them, look, I love you, but I can't use you on this. Yeah. Ooh, I love it. And that's great, y'all. Write that down, because sometimes we don't say things because we don't have the words. Yeah. I love you, but you just can't help me. I can't help you. Yeah, you can't, and it's okay. My wife would tell me that all the time. There's nothing you can do for me, because when her pain, it would get in her bones. It's like, nothing you can do for me. Just leave me. Just leave me alone. Just let me lay here. Yeah. There's nothing you can do. Anything you say, you're going to irritate me. Well, love this. I love that transparency. Yes. I love that. And definitely just something that's a foundation, which is prayer. Yeah. Yep.
have to
prayer
pray.
and
Prayer.
letting it go.
Letting it go. Letting it go. Yeah, letting it go. We have 5 children. We actually raised 7. My first wife had 2 children. They stayed in my life after 2. They stayed with her, but I'm just was dad to them. Even during the midst of all the craziness and the sickness, they were fine and healthy, but I still had to be dad to them. So certain stuff you have to compartmentalize and be present, because otherwise resentment comes up. Oh, you taking care of him, you always sick, but that didn't happen. It was like, hey y'all, this is what's going on. I love you, I'm gonna be here for this, but I gotta take care of this. And you have to do that. And you can't, when life gets tough, you have to take time for yourself. You have to. You have to, because you're not a robot.
Okay, I know that's right. Noted.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. My wife is big. We're big on trips. We stopped buying Christmas gifts, 10 years ago. She does Toys for Tots. She believes every kid should have a toy, Lord Jesus. She does. But we do a family cruise every January. We go somewhere. Yeah. Yep. So every January, the family goes. My youngest is 22. But we've done that since baby girl was 8. So yeah. I
used to sell vacations. I used to tell, and that was the main. That was one of our objections. People were like, I don't have enough money. Be like, well, what about your mental health? Because then the studies came out about vacationing. And taking a break from your life and how it increases people's mental health and quality of life.
It truly does.
So I was just like, do you want to go crazy or do you want to go
and you can afford it. You can afford it. People can afford it. You can afford it. You can afford what you want. You can afford what you want.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, KJ, I just want to thank you so much.
No, thank you.
For coming on to the Namaste Grinding podcast, for sharing your story.
Appreciate it.
Let me get a chance to know you on a deeper level, and also, most importantly, for these gems that go in my journal and in my podcast, because they help me continue to go on.
Yeah.
Because I don't always have the best days either. I'm still in the healing. Healing is a continuous process.
Yep, absolutely.
And sometimes I have valleys, and folks like yourself that come on here and just drop good gems. I just want to let you know that I thank you. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And y'all, this if there is nothing that you don't take away from this, well, take what you need first and foremost. Take what you need. But like I said, y'all, just remember the gratitude walks. Give thanks along the way. Find help if you need it. Don't forget to pray. And after you pray, let it go. My auntie and Uncle Em always say, if you're going to worry, don't pray. If you're going to pray, don't worry.
Yep.
And take time for yourself in the valley.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. And it's going to be hard. You're going to have to compartmentalize.
Yep.
Figure out what your value system is.
Yep.
But make sure that you're at the top of that list and that you're taking care of yourself. Yes. As always, y'all stay blessed and stay grinding. Namaste, y'all.
Thank you.
I'ma stay grinding.